Hi, everyone. My name is John DePietro.
And I'm Bob Zagami with the Camper Report Show.
And on this Camp Report Show, Bob, we are venturing to Alaska. Now, you say, why would you want to go camping in Alaska? Well, certain times of the year, it's really good. And we're going to tell you all about a great RV park in Alaska. How about you?
And a campground in Alaska. I travel all the way to Tampa, Florida. I've got a great interview with Patrice and Kevin McCabe, who produce and host a program called RV There Yet, and it's entering its third season on April 6th. So we're going to talk all about the new season, the new RV, and some of the other stuff that they got going.
Plus all the news of the week. Where do we glean that news from?
Oh, with our friend Rick Hessler, who I had lunch with down in Bonita Springs, Florida today, and Ben Quiggle with Woodall's Campground Magazine. And Rick, of course, is with RV Business. So I've been
You're, al-
working really hard this week, John.
you're always dropping names. So
Yeah, I know.
we'll be back
Cool.
with all the news of the week, plus two great stories. Whereabouts, Bob?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everyone. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Camp Report Show. My name is John DePietro. That gentleman over there is Bob Zagami. And Bob, in the news today, it seems as though every week when we bring you the news, we talk about another prominent member of the NASCAR racing community that's getting their own RV. And last week we talked with the folks from Campers Inn that are providing RVs to several drivers. And today the news was made that Dale Earnhardt Jr. is now going to be a member of the Keystone family with a Cougar. Talk about that.
So this is an interesting one because you're talking about a multi-millionaire NASCAR driver who spends his weeks at the campground in $3 to $4 million Prevos or bus conversions at the track. That's what they do. The crew members will drive it around to the different tracks. The drivers will fly in, and he's got a three or four. But when it came time to buy an RV that he could have for his family to enjoy going camping, they bought a Keystone Cougar. Not only did they buy a Keystone Cougar, they wanted the fifth wheel, they wanted the space because they like to have that style of camping.
You
And they brought the Black Magic or
got the
the
Midnight,
Midnight Edition. Yeah,
Midnight Edition.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. We saw
I, I
several of
I
them
can
at Daytona.
well, I can see it now. Christy Spencer, who we know, who does all their marketing,
Yep.
and Jeff Reynolds, the president. They're very good. Kevin Hockey doesn't sell Cougars anymore, but I can see us getting to the open house in September. And not only will there be a Midnight Cougar, there'll be a Dale Earnhardt special edition
Edition.
Midnight Cougar. And I'm
Yep.
sure Christy's already thought, so
Yep.
she'll look at this and say
With a
that
number,
they're reading my mind. But wouldn't
the
you do
eight,
that?
the
If you
88
sold
edition.
Dale Earnhardt, yeah, if you sold Dale Earnhardt Jr.
Yeah.
a Cougar fifth wheel, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
exactly. So,
He
that's
loves
that.
it. He loves it. You often talk about the campfires. He wants it for the enjoyment
Yep.
around
And he
the
wants it for his two little daughters. So that's even more
campfire.
special. And
Yeah.
the other thing that we're finding more and more is that the new leadership at RV Industry Association is evolving all the time with younger and younger people with new ideas. And I understand that you got a special invitation to their leadership conference in Florida. Tell us what you learned and how much shrimp and Jack Daniels you ate on their dime.
You know me too well, John. You know me too well. This is the second year that they've held the leadership conference. It evolved out of what they used to call the Young Executives program, where they would bring
Up
family
and
members,
comers.
the owners, up and comers, new people to the industry, but it's evolved much more into an executive level conference. And there were great sessions, great keynote speakers. A funny one today was Mike Beck, who is the son of Bill Beck, who used to
Quebec.
own the Chicago White
Red
Sox. And
Sox. Yeah.
Beck talked about the importance of having fun. It's you and I could have written this speech about having fun at what you do, and he's owned several minor league ball teams, so he related the importance of having fun, enjoying what you're doing, and even if it's not typical or it hasn't been done before. And he did some crazy things. So that was the keynote today. Very enjoyable. but they've had working sessions. They also started off today with some community service. They broke the group up into two groups. One did a kayak trip down the river. The other helped out on Habitat for Humanity. They'll switch tomorrow and do what the other people didn't do. And
Yep.
I didn't do either one. I showed up about in time for lunch. There was one section of lunch, so I
the
did
kayak trip down the river.
But Craig Kirby, who's the president of RVIA, has made some nice changes. He's probably been president now for maybe about 5 years.
Yeah, 5 years.
But it was a good venue. We saw a lot of the industry friends, but I met a lot of new people that I didn't know in the industry, and they're there to learn. They were pretty thirsty. They wanted to know. And on a good note, they asked people who didn't even know me. They said, well, where's that guy that you're on television with? And I said, well, he's not here. He's out doing something else. And I said, well, we watch you every week. And they got a new fella at RV on Mark. They just know who we are. Yeah.
More and more people are stopping us in the street. I mean, I probably had a half a dozen people at Daytona stop and say, hey, we watch your show all the time. So,
and I spent a little bit of time in between two of the sessions with Ali Rasmussen, CEO of Spacious Skies.
Cool.
Thanked her for, I thanked her for her sponsorship on some of the various programs that you go out on. And she thanked us. She said, it's just wonderful doing business with you guys. I love you guys. You have so much fun at what you do. So it was good to catch up to her. There's a couple more people I want to try to catch up to tomorrow, but good conference.
As I drove down this street in Florida, I saw several streets. I saw these giant signs that say General RV Center. And some of the signs are still temporary signs because they're so brand new that they haven't even had a chance to change the signage on the building yet. But General RV has done something very revolutionary because those three letters, PDI, they can send shivers down the spines of many people when they're just about ready to pick up their brand new RV. But they've done something revolutionary. Talk about that.
Yeah, there's a couple of others that have done it too. They have opened up a PDI facility in Elkhart. So anything that they buy from the manufacturers goes first to the PDI facility. So before it ever gets to the dealership, before it ever gets into the hands of the consumer, they do a full inspection. I know Campers Inn has one. I'm not sure if they send every one through it. General has one, and they just released a video, and we'll put a link to it. But a video tour of what they do in the facility. Grand Design has one that they do. Every Grand Design that comes out of their factory goes into their pre-delivery again before it goes in. And Brinkley, I believe Brinkley does that also. So they're taking a little bit more responsibility for what's coming out of the factory in Elkhart, so that there are not issues when the customer goes to pick it up.
Right.
And it relieves the dealer of because it's a time-consuming process. If you do it right, you're talking about checking probably over 100 different types of systems on whether it's a travel trailer or a motorhome. So this is a move in the right direction. General has joined it, and like I said, they get 2 more facilities down here in Florida, and they are also privately held. So they're privately held manufacturing business. So they claim to be the largest family-owned company, and then we have Campers Inn, which is also family-owned, but they're a dealership, so they can both be number one. So General can say that they're the largest family.
Yeah, it's just like Hershey's the largest show in America, and Tampa's the largest show in America, and Quartzsite's the largest show in America.
Right.
Depending on who you talk to at any time. So we've got a great show. We've got a great show lined up. We want to thank our friends at RV Business in Woodalls for helping us with that sponsorship. I know you had lunch with Kessler, and we've got a whole bunch of things coming up. Where? Right here, Bob. Whereabouts?
One last thing. They also snuck in this. Rick had a great idea for the industry, and they approved it. So today was the first awards, the RV Business Leadership Awards. And they announced them, the company, the new young executive, and the veteran in the industry. And they had a short ceremony in between the lunch session. So there'll be another branding of RV Business, and RVIA endorsed it 100%. Yep.
Great. Perfect. All coming up where?
On the Camper Report Show.
Stay with us, everyone.
All right, welcome back everybody to the Camper Report Show, and we got some friends back. They haven't been back for a while. Patrice McCabe and Kevin from RV There Yet. So
Yes,
great
sir.
to see you again. I know you're busy, and I really appreciate you fitting time in for our fans and catching up, letting us catch up with you. So where do you want to start, Patrice?
Oh my goodness. Well, thank you for having us again. It's always good to see you. I know you split your time between Florida and New England. So it's good to have you back down in Florida. We are back in Florida ourselves. We've been on the road this year producing season 3, and we couldn't be more excited for it to start. We are Season 3 debuts April 6th. It's a Saturday at 8:30 a.m. and it's a good season.
Discovery Channel, don't forget that.
Oh, sorry.
Yes, first episode is Sevierville, Tennessee, real popular area. I know many of your fans that are watching have probably been to Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area, Great
Yep.
Smoky Mountain National Park. So first episode was from Sevierville. We stayed at the Ridge Outdoor Resort, which for Patrice and I, we're kind of low budget campground type folks. This place was over the top, Bob. I mean, this is like a resort. We walked. I mean, the registration building was just beautiful too. I mean, it was beautiful.
You see our reaction is
Yeah, it's real.
authentic when we pull up at the open of the show. You will be blown away by this place. It is an RV resort and it lives up to its name. Sevierville, like Kevin said, I know a lot of people think of Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge and Sevierville kind of just a touristy place. We discover these cool little hidden gems off the beaten path, and man, Sevierville is a cool place.
And we got a new RV, Bob. We got a new RV. We got a new Winnebago this year. You're going to find out first episode. It's the Winnebago Adventurer 35F.
Wow.
Still got a bath and a half, so Patrice is very happy about that. Not the crew or I can go touch her bathroom.
Nope.
She's got her own. Got a fireplace in it. It's got a washer and dryer in it. It's a real step up from the Vista we had last year. And we're towing our Jeep, little Blue Ox. So we love it. Absolutely love it.
I've always loved the adventure. I love Winnebago. We do a lot of work with Winnebago also, but the adventure is just a phenomenal. I mean, it's top of the line gas coach.
Yeah.
The layout, the floor plan is so comfortable, and we filmed a lot of this season in the fall, so it was cold, which was wonderful for me. Getting those fall colors. Kentucky episode there, we celebrated 100 years of state parks in Kentucky, and Kentucky's colors showed off. I didn't want to leave. I was really emotional having to leave all those beautiful colors, but having the adventure, we had that fireplace going every single day. It was such a treat.
But, one of the things that people do like about the show is your ability to find these unique places to go. You don't go where the other 99 reporters that cover touristy type stuff go and say, man, I saw that on some other guy's show last week. You just somehow pick out these gems.
Well, when we started this show, or rather when he came up with the idea and just blurted it out to Discovery, and we got off the call with Discovery, and I said, what RV show and who's hosting it? And when he said it was us, there were a couple of ground rules. And the one thing is, it's got to be authentic to how we travel. We've been RVers since 2004. And for us, that truly is the escape, is going to all these off the beaten path places that, you're not going to find the 99%, like you said, but they're hidden gems and they deserve a spotlight. Really is how we like to travel. I need history. I got to see the history of the land. Certainly food, or, where does our brewery, the beer come from? Where's the bourbon come from? There's a lot of bourbon on this.
And that's one of the things, one of the hidden gems on our first episode in Sevierville is a place called Shine Girl. Don't know if you've ever heard of it, but it's a little tiny place, and it's Danielle Parton, Dolly Parton's niece.
Oh, I
is a moonshiner.
I did hear about it. I must have saw it on your Facebook page or something that
And she was
Yeah.
I mean, we call her the beautiful badass because she flies C-130 planes for the Air National Guard, and she's beautiful. And
Yeah.
now she makes moonshine, her own moonshine, right there in Sevierville. It's awesome.
Yeah.
So you fly a C-130 and you
Yeah.
make moonshine.
Yeah. And your Dolly Parton's niece.
And you
And you're gorgeous, and you know, she drives her own forklift in the distillery. You know, she's the real deal. We actually shot that segment early morning, so I've never had moonshine for breakfast until then, which was wonderful. But there's so much fun. So from Sevierville to Kentucky to Montana Badlands, we did
Wow.
not do the norm in Montana either.
yeah.
We went to Southeast Montana in the Badlands. You feel like you step back into the Jurassic age. So we discovered dinosaurs. We went to Nebraska again, in the northwest corner of Nebraska. These gorgeous buttes, and we stayed on a historic fort property. They had just redone the campground and added on to it. Beautiful for RVers. Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, yes.
I got to cook some Cincinnati chili too, and I had an expert from the Bourbon Trail there, and she said it was good.
Now, did you have anybody singing Cincinnati, Ohio, or did you squeeze that into the mix at all?
No, we did not. We did not have any singing. We did have singing in Tennessee though. We have a special guest come out in Tennessee and sing for us. Just this whole season, this whole country is magical. It's
Now
beautiful.
you went to Tennessee. Now you went to, I know you went to Kentucky for the bourbon. Did you go to Tennessee and visit Jack Daniels?
Oh, no, we
No.
didn't. We did not.
Gotta-
We did
No.
waterfalls.
Yeah, we did waterfalls. We did the Upper Cumberland region of Tennessee, Rock Island State Park, which is a really cool waterfalls. You got to go down inside the riverbed where, I mean, it was almost dry, but yet literally it could be flooded in seconds because they flood it with the TVA power plant. So it's a power plant that holds the water back. So you can hike down into the riverbed, but then when you hear the alarms go off, you got to get back out of there. I mean, it's a really cool segment.
Because the water's coming?
Yeah, because
Yeah,
they're letting the dam open. They got to let the dam open. So when they let it open, it floods the riverbed.
Yeah.
So let's assume we get some fans on here today that haven't yet seen the show. So
Okay.
what's your elevator pitch for the show? And I want you to build into that the quality, because the quality of this show is first class. And I know, Kevin, that's your your specialty down there. But tell people that don't have the slightest idea who Kevin and Patrice are, and they just looked at you on the screen.
All right. So we used to produce a fishing show for 25 years on Discovery Channel, and COVID hit, and we had to make a left turn. So as Patrice was telling you, I was just on the phone with Discovery Channel, and I happened to throw out the idea. We've been RVers since 2004. And sure enough, they said, get me a pilot, and it stuck. So now we, for 25 years, have been behind the camera, and now we're in front of it, having the greatest time of our lives, traveling this country in a Winnebago RV and finding hidden gems all over the country. And it's absolutely the best job I've ever had, for sure.
Yeah, for me, the way I describe it is, you know, we are RVers, but anybody can do this. We happen to love being in our Winnebago. We do tow a vehicle, so we're able to unhook and go explore. But it's discovering the history of the communities, going and meeting the people in the businesses, whether it's a 6th generation butcher shop or a new success story. Those are the people that we can't wait to meet. You know, it's finding the culture through food. Another reason why I love RVing is I can bring that stuff home with me. I don't have to, you know, you can't fly with that. You know, but we travel with a really good crew. Everybody is so creative. They've been doing this for a long time. A couple of them came over from our fishing series, so they understand his vision. He's really the creative. I just get to have all the fun.
No, like you said, Bob, the cinematography, to be on Discovery Channel, you have to have a certain level of production to be up there on that big channel.
Right.
And so, and one of the questions most people ask us after they watch the show is, how many camera guys do you have? And that's really a testament to the format that we bring to this, is when you watch it, the time goes by, it really flows really nicely. It's got all kinds of camera angles. The music this year, though, is top notch. I mean, and we do the editing. I've been editing for 33 years. I love to come back with all the footage and create something. And this year has been the best by far.
That's fantastic. And, it's such a great country that you can never run out of places to go or things to do. If you did it 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. So kudos to you to be able to take some of those little precious gems and put it into such a great production that people, I always, when I watch them, I get to the end and I say, don't be over. You get stuck on it and you watch 3 or 4 of them.
Well, we've talked about going to an hour. I mean, a lot of people are asking for it, so we certainly have going to bring it up to Discovery Channel to move to an hour. It does go a little fast. I mean, we try to get as much as we can into that 22 minutes that we've got to produce. But I want to let people know that are watching that you can also watch it on Discovery Plus this year. So for those who are in RVs that aren't hooked up to cable, you can get it online on Discovery Plus. That's new for us this year. We were not on Discovery Plus. It's on Roku, and it's also on Amazon Prime and YouTube. So if you don't have Discovery Channel, you'll still be able to watch it.
But it's on your website too.
Sure,
right?
It's on the website too.
On the website,
You can find it anywhere. And again, that's him. He's got it everywhere. You can find it everywhere. You said it, this country is so unique and different in so many little pockets. You won't grow tired of exploring. And for me, growing up, going on vacation with my parents and seeing all these little places, that's what we love sharing the most is people got to go out. You got to get outside. You got to see the lands that are ours. We actually like each other out here, despite news and, all that stuff.
Well,
that's my favorite part is I don't know what day it is or what time it is. That's my favorite part. I love the people we meet all along the way.
That's the beauty of RVing. It's like you get out of the daily elements. You don't have to watch the TV. You don't have to listen to all the bad news. You create all the good news yourself, and the people that you meet, guess what? They're just like you. They like being out there too. They don't want that.
Absolutely.
We're running a little bit long. I could do an hour with you guys, but they go,
all right. So last thing is we got to let people know that we are having a watch party the Thursday night. So April 4th, mark your calendar. We're going to be right here on our live set. We're giving away prizes. We're actually going to show some previews of the upcoming episodes. We're going to do our live stream April 4th. So that's Thursday night before the show airs on Saturday. Come tune in on our Facebook page or our YouTube page and watch us live.
And we'll have guests from the first 2 episodes from Montana and from Sevierville. We'll have special guests on too.
I will tune in. All right. One quick question before I let you go. Our guests are Patrice and Kevin McCabe. I almost forgot. I know Campers Inn is one of your sponsors, and Campers Inn has jumped big time into the NASCAR circuit. So have you been able to, maybe not this season, but have you had those discussions about, Larry Peter, Ben Hirsch, Jeff Hirsch, you really ought to take us to the NASCAR track?
Well, it's funny you ask because we do still have 3 episodes left to film this season.
Instead, we're shooting in Alabama.
We're in Alabama, so we will be at Talladega. We're working with Larry and Ben. We'll be in Talladega and we'll be filming some there. We're very excited for them.
Aren't they great? They're just great to work with. We did a 20-minute interview with Ben for our RVing in New England show. Again, we could have talked for a couple hours. Well, look best of luck with season 3. It's great to catch up to you. And I'm gonna get up to Tampa and we're gonna have lunch.
We still need lunch.
That's right.
I'm ready.
Still need that.
Door's always open, Bob.
All right. Thank you very much. We will see you down the road, and it's RV there yet. So make sure you tune in.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bob.
Thanks for the
Take care.
opportunity.
Good to see you. Bye-bye.
Hey everybody, we are not wasting away, but we are in Margaritaville, and we're with Blair and Rana, and they are from Alaska, and they run a campground in Alaska called the Diamond M Ranch in Kenai. So welcome to Florida, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, Rana, tell us exactly where Kenai is.
So typically landing in Anchorage, the largest city in Alaska, and we are a 3-hour drive south through scenic, absolutely gorgeous, don't want to miss Alaska.
Don't want to miss. You'd agree with her, Blair?
It's Alaska's playground. It's where the Alaskans go to let their hair down and enjoy the natural beauty.
Okay, so tell us about your campground.
Well, the campground is built on 20 acres next to the farm that I grew up with my brothers and sister, and it was just my dad's idea to offer some Alaskan hospitality to those who were driving up on their bucket list. We've heard the story 1,000 times of people wishing to go to Alaska someday, and when they got there was no RV park.
So you're solving that issue.
So we built it from scratch in '97 and opened with 17 sites, and we've been plowing the revenue back into it ever since.
Right. And Rana, really, there is 2 ways to get to Alaska and be able to RV and camp, and one is to drive from the U.S.
That is absolutely true.
And-
And we have done it multiple times ourselves, getting what we want from the lower 48, we call it, up through Canada and into Alaska. And so we're familiar with the process. Matter of fact is, when we leave Florida, we're going to Denver, Colorado, and we're going to be driving up to Alaska ourselves.
Blair, the way that I prefer it is to fly into Anchorage, and there are several RV rental companies that you can deal with there, and instead of spending those harsh moments of driving that, what is it, the Can-Am Highway, whatever it is.
Alaska Highway.
Alcan.
Yeah, spend all your time, getting to see Alaska.
Yeah, there are definitely more than one way, but I'm telling you, for those people who own their big rigs and that's their home, it is not a problem at all. Canada has some very scenic drives through it to getting to Alaska, and then you come into Alaska and you get to hit that once in a lifetime bucket list.
Okay.
It's not the destination, it's the journey.
The journey. Now, people talk about Denali all the time.
Yes.
Tell us what Denali does for the tourist economy.
Go ahead, Blair.
Denali is an icon that everybody's heard about and wants to go see. It's a beautiful setting, and if you can get deep into the park, you have a 20% chance of seeing the mountain because of the weather.
The weather, 20%.
And so what we've found is the view from our resort is on par with the Denali Range, and the amenities are much more suitable.
Yeah. So, Rana, Kenai Peninsula.
Yes.
What else is there?
On the
outside of your place?
Kenai Peninsula, you have the major marine tours, also where the cruise ships come into Seward and/or Whittier. And so those cruise ships come in, man, don't stop there. You're already in Alaska. Go ahead and get a rental car. We also have 20 lodging units at our park.
So you don't have to have an RV.
You don't have to have an RV. You can do that cruise and then continue your tour down to the Kenai Peninsula. But anyway, you get the major marine tours through the fjords, absolutely gorgeous, seeing all the marine wildlife. And then also fishing. If you love fishing, there is great fishing both from the rivers as well as deep sea fishing from Cook Inlet.
Okay.
And so the scenery itself is not to miss.
Not to miss. Now, the camping season, obviously it's not a 12-month season. Blair, when's the heart of the camping season? When does it start and when does it end? But more importantly, I'll go back to Rana with this one. You tell us when the camping season is, and Rana, you tell us when we should start making reservations to not be disappointed.
Okay.
Yeah, our season's really short. In the June solstice, we see 19 and a half hours of daylight where the sun's above the horizon, and so we have no street lights or any accommodation like that in our resort. Cat got my tongue.
So Memorial Weekend to Labor Day weekend is kind of what Alaska, the other RV sites, even though we're open 365 days out of the year, you're basically looking Memorial Weekend to Labor Day weekend. And those people who are driving up, you know, they typically like don't want to stay too long because they're worried about when they drive through Canada getting snowfall or an early snowfall.
But the dirty little secret is September is some of the best scenery, more clear skies, and sport fishing for silvers is way more exciting than the king salmon.
So if you want to fish, there is crazy salmon fishing right next to us on the Kenai Peninsula from May through September. If you want to get into the sockeye salmon, that run is July. And it's crazy combat fishing during July 10th through the 31st. So if you want to
define combat fishing.
Combat fishing means there are so many people fishing that it's shoulder to shoulder with the fishermen in the river.
Sometimes 2 or 3 tiers.
So you're not fighting. You're not fighting with the fish. You're fighting with the other fisher people.
That is correct. That is correct. So if you're not coming to fish, avoid July on the Kenai Peninsula. But the rest of the time is absolutely gorgeous. You get the fall fireweed, beautiful flowers, August, September. So August is a good month.
How about a website where people can find out more about your facility?
DiamondMRanchResort.com.
DiamondMRanchResort.com. So we're sitting here in the beautiful Florida sunshine. What are you going to go back to? What's going to be like when you go back home?
What we like most about March in the Kenai Peninsula is we've had all winter to accumulate snow. There's outdoor activities, snowmobiling and cross-country skiing. The downhill skiing is best in the world, and the days are long. The sunsets linger for 2 hours, and
Wow,
there's
2
no
hours
crowds.
sunset.
Yeah, so those dark days that you hear about in Alaska, when you hit March, they are gone. We have as long a days as you have here in Florida, right there in Alaska. So for us, we're going to be out enjoying Alaska's beauty with snow still on the ground for another month.
Yeah, and getting ready to open.
Yep,
And welcome people from all over the world.
that is correct. That is correct.
Thank you so much, folks.
Yes, thank you.